So welcome to the show. Man, I'm glad you're here today. We're doing our Tones feature recipe. It's gonna be a beautiful dish. We're doing a really cool turkey. And we're using a 12 to 14 pound bird. So we got some work to do. We're gonna make a brine. And brining is one of those things that is really subjective. Man, it's really chef's choice. I've had really good turkey that never got brined. I've had really good turkey that sat in a real good brine for a long time. I've had it every kind of way you can imagine. But we're going to make a brine for you. I want to show you guys what the brining is like, what the process is about, and why we do it. So we want to add flavor to the turkey. We want to add moisture to the turkey. The brine really gives you that extra moisture, the love that you're looking for. It gives it a little bit of flavor as well, just depending on the ingredients you're using in the brine. So we start with some boiling water, okay? And we got some ice water here as well. We're gonna add some more ice water to this because you wanna make sure that the brine is at least 35 degrees or so, near the, the freezing point. But we gotta boil these ingredients first. This is a cup and a half of just good maple syrup. You can use a B-grade syrup if you want. I really like the good stuff. Really good flavored maple syrup. And you just want to add that to the boiling water for your brine. And we're going to add salt. You gotta get salt in there for the brine as well. So really about 4 rounds of salt for this because we're adding so much other water, but we're gonna be using the roasted garlic and herb blend from Weber, and we'll also be using the blend later to go on top of the turkey. But for the brine, we want to get the garlic and herb, the roasted garlic and herb flavor throughout the meat of the bird, all the way through the inside. It's going to cover every surface of it. So we will use, we're going to put in about 3 good tablespoons of the roasted garlic and herb. And again, we want to just get that mixed in with the water. Man, and that just flavors it out big time. Tones makes real good bay leaves. Add about 4 or 5 of those guys. And what you really want to do is use cracked pepper or just whole peppercorns for this. We're using cracked black pepper. We're going to go around the horn about 4 times. Because again, we're adding so much other water over here. So 4 rounds on the pepper. Then we got to add some liquid smoke to it because we need that smoky love. We'll add about a tablespoon of liquid smoke. And that's going to be real good. Now, with this, you want to just bring it to a boil and be done with it. But you also want to make sure that the temperature is way down. And the other thing with the brine, if you're doing a turkey, you got to have space for that. A trick that I like to use when I'm doing a turkey, and I have it right here, and I also have some ice and water set up in this. This is just a small cooler that I've cleaned out and gotten ready for the turkey. I've gotten some ice and some water in there. Okay, we need about 4.5 quarts of ice water. So right to the brine that's hot, we're going to add 2 quarts right away. 2 quarts of ice water. And then I'll take that and get all of that right into my cooler. Be real careful. Bring it all up and over to the cooler, just like that. Make sure you get all of those herbs going on down in there. Bay leaves, everything. Now, we're going to get another couple of quarts of ice water. So we'll go to the freezer. We'll fill up our pitcher with ice. just make sure that you're really cold. Your water's really cold. We're going to get 2 more quarts right here in this pitcher for our brine. Make sure that you remove the giblets and the neck. Make sure you get all up in the cavity of the turkey. Get that right in there. And you got to make sure, guys, that you get the turkey. Get the giblets out. Make sure that you get the neck out of the turkey before you get it in there. We'll get the wings nice and tucked, and you want to submerge that in this water for at least 12 hours. So do this a day ahead of time. Make your brine a day ahead of time, and allow yourself about 4 hours to get your turkey cooked. Once you're done out of the brine, get it seasoned and ready to go. And it's gonna be great. So when we get back, we're gonna get our turkey out of the brine. I have one all set up, ready to go, and we will get it seasoned and ready to go in the oven. It's gonna be a great dish. This is cooking today. Y'all come back. Okay, we're gonna keep on going. We have a little bit of butter going on, just a little over a stick of butter we're gonna melt here. And if you wanna just use it soft, it's fine. But I like to pour it down into the cavity of the turkey. So I'm gonna just let this butter melt while we do a little bit of prep. We're gonna go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of the roasted garlic and herb. Again, this is where our turkey is gonna get its flavor from. It's from this herb mixture right here. Great blend, and Weber does a good job with these. We'll add a couple of carrots, and I have some small ones here, so I'm just gonna use all of these for the cavity. This is all gonna go inside our bird. Big chunks is what you want. And they're real small here, so we'll just keep these whole and just cut them up. Just like that. And just set them to the side. And then we want to take a nice yellow onion, and make sure you're using a good sharp knife for this. Get your yellow onion peeled, cleaned and peeled, because we need it for flavor inside our bird. Just keep an eye on that butter. Make sure it doesn't burn. We'll take this one onion, and we want to just cut it up into small sections, just like we did with the carrot. So I'll cut each half in half, and then maybe 2 cuts. Half, and then 2 cuts, just like that. That's going to be perfect to go inside our cavity of our turkey. Then we'll take our orange, which will give it some real good flavor, and we would just want to cut slices with the orange, like this. Super simple. Okay? And just check on our butter. Everything's melted. And that's beautiful. So that's it. We're going to take that off of the burner. Make sure it's done and not cooking anymore. And then what we do is take that turkey that we've had in the brine all night long. We want to get it out of there. Make sure we drain it real good, because inside the cavity, all that brine is just collected. Just drain it right back into the cooler, and you can deal with the liquid once you're done. Just get it right over to a sheet tray. And I like tucking the wings back like this. So I'll take the wing, pull it out, just like it was going to take flight. Just tuck it right back to the back, behind its back, like that. So it gives you a nice stable surface to work with like that. Okay? Then what we'll do, we'll take a couple of these oranges and we'll fill the cavity. So we'll put a couple of oranges right down against that breastplate, that meat there on the inside. Take some of the carrots and the onion and just start stuffing that cavity full. Once you get to a point that you got a lot of it in there, take a little bit more of the orange. Save some of the orange for the outside. We want to make sure we get a nice look on the outside. But man, skin and all, get it stuffed right inside the bird, just like that. And just you want to press it in there real, real good. Get it all in. Every bit that you cut up's got to go inside. And then we'll take that butter and that good garlic and herb blend, and we'll lift the bird up so that the cavity is straight up and down, and we'll get that butter blend poured right down into the middle of that guy, just like that. Oh my goodness gracious. That's going to give it flavor. Open that guy up and let that stuff just fall through there, just like so. Then what I like to do, add some of that butter over the top. That way I can come back just kind of with my hands, rub it a little bit, just so that I can help the extra seasoning that I'm going to add to it stick. So we'll get it rubbed up like that. We'll take the garlic and herb seasoning, just the shaker side, just cover our bird. Just like this. I always like to just shake on some extra, give it some love. Man, and that extra butter that you have left over in the pan will help it stick right to the flesh. Just like that. Use your hand to kind of guide it around. Get it on there. And a little bit of extra, representation doesn't hurt anybody. Let me wash my hands, you guys. Then what we'll do to the bird, we will add some water right to this pan. So we'll probably add a couple of cups of water to the pan. We'll add just a little bit of seasoning to the pan, and this guy is going to have to go in the oven. Man, make sure you give yourself at least 3 hours. You want to make sure you temp it real good. When we get back, guys, we're going to have some cool turkey to show you. We're going to make gravy out of the pan drippings. It's going to be delicious. Y'all stick around. This is cooking today. Oh my goodness. Look at how beautiful our turkey turned out. Man, what a great looking piece. 3 hours, 15 minutes. And I want to show you a couple of things. First, I have a thermometer here. This is digital. We need that to temp the turkey. But all the liquid we added to the pan, we put the wire rack on. Then we put our turkey on top of the wire rack. That helps you gather up all the liquid, all the pan juices that's going to make our beautiful gravy. So remember, you got to have a nice wire rack for your sheet tray. Make sure that when you're checking your bird for doneness, that you temp it right down inside that thigh meat, right down where the joints meet together right there. That is going to be the hardest part to get cooked. And if you can get 165 degrees down in that joint right there between the body, the breast part, and the leg and the thigh, right down in there, you're going to hit bone right in there. And you want to get your temperature right out of there. And that's a beautiful thing. That baby is done. And you want to cover it up with aluminum foil, let it rest for 15 minutes or so. You can. But this is a real cool look. Now, we're going to make our gravy, and that's going to be the last part of the dish that we do. We have some butter here that's melted, and the giblets I put on the tray with the turkey for the cooking. I also put the neck on the tray with the turkey for the cooking. All the juices that drip down into the bottom really just gave us good flavor. So we cut up all the giblets, so it's the heart and lungs, all the giblets that are in there. Just dice them up. You can use a grinder if you want to, whatever you like. And just get them right back into the liquid that came out of the bottom of the pan. Okay? Then we'll take our flour to our butter right here. This is 1 stick of butter. We'll add the equivalent amount of flour to the stick of butter. So about a quarter pound, or until it all becomes roux. So we want a nice bound up roux out of this. Just add enough flour to bind it up. Okay, just like that. That ought to be real good right there. That ought to get all my liquid soaked up and make me a nice roux. And when it starts to come away, when it starts to separate from the sides of your pan like that, you got a good roux going. And depending on how dark you want your gravy to be, is just how long you cook the roux for. If you want a nice dark roux, nice dark gravy, you just let the roux cook until it starts to caramelize. But a light roux here works just fine. Okay, so we'll just take our roux and go right to our gravy. And we start out with a small amount. So we add just enough. And we want to shut this down just a little. We're going to add just enough of the roux to get the thickening happening. And look, I'm going to tell you a trick here with the gravy too. You see that foam on the outer edge of the pan right there? That is a prime indicator of the thickness level of your gravy. So if you got a little bit of foam out there, your gravy should be pretty thick, should be nice and spoon ready. If you got a whole lot of bubbles out there, that foam out there, you need a little bit more roux. And I'm going to tell you, I only need a little bit of extra roux in there. I mean, a hair. And I was going to say har like I'm from the South, and I am. We say har in the South. Just a little bit to bind it up. And if you need to, have a little extra chicken stock on the side ready to go. But I'm going to shut that off. All you really want to do here is make sure that the flour is cooked out of your roux. And again, if you need a little extra chicken stock, if you go a little too thick, it's okay. You just add a little bit of liquid and you're good to go. We want to season that real good with salt and black pepper. If you want to add a little parsley to it, you go right ahead. But look at that. Look at that consistency. And that's turned off. So I'm going to remove that, take it right off of the heat. And we have got a beautiful, beautiful gravy. Let's get a spoon. Let's get a spoon. Look at that. Look at that coating. Look at that coating on the spoon. Hot, beautiful. Look at those giblets. Let's get a little tasty. Make sure you check it for seasoning. Oh, my goodness. So good. So ready to eat. My goodness, you guys, you have to try this at home. Thank you so much, Tones and Weber, for your support of our show. We really appreciate you. I hope you enjoy this recipe, guys. This is cooking today.